You alright, folks? How we doing? It's me, Scotty from Scotty Talks MUFC. How are we this evening? I'm very well. I hope you are all well as well. Well, given it's 24 hours since our victory last night, God, what a relief it is when Man United win a game. It's just a nice, calm experience for a Monday. You know, all the Man United fans are talking, all the haters are going to hate. It was brilliant today because no Liverpool fan said anything other than, you got lucky, you got lucky. We probably did get lucky, but we won. When history books look back at this game, they don't see who was lucky, they just look at the result, and the result says 2-1. And that makes 2 in a row for Ruben Amorim. And it's 4 in a row for Liverpool. That's losses, that is. 4 in a row, and hope the losses continue. I believe they've got a Champions League game this week. Don't know who against. Like I said, Liverpool's not my team. I need to look at my own team and concentrate on what we're doing, not what Anfield lot are doing. Now, this morning, there's been a lot of chat. There's been a lot of chat in the last couple of weeks, ever since Turkey Al-Sheikh broke this news regarding UAE. First, everyone thought it was a Saudi takeover, but then he dropped a second tweet confirming that they're not in the running, they're not in the race, and it's no one from their kingdom. Do we take this with a pinch of salt? Probably. I'm hoping it's just merely a deflection more than anything else from Saudi Arabia, given Turkey Al-Sheikh is not going to put this out. This guy is a credible person. And I'm not going on about how many followers he's got and what he's on Twitter, well, X, and all the rest of it. Turkey Al-Sheikh has put together some of the biggest fights out there all over the world. On top of that, he's made a lot of things happen in Saudi Arabia which would never ever happen before. He's taken the biggest fights there. He's taken American wrestling there. He's had big massive pop concerts there. Now, to have a pop concert in Saudi Arabia is a big thing. It was unheard of. The fact that he's done it, and he's paid over the odds. It's irrelevant. Again, when people look at it, they're going to see that Turkey Al-Sheikh was behind X project and he delivered for his kingdom. Good or bad, that's up for debate, and he's delivered for the kingdom, that's the bottom line. Now, he's not going to make these kind of statements if there was no truth in it. I'm just not having it. I can't. It's not that me having it. I think the community out there will appreciate that Turkey Al-Sheikh's not going to say something that's going to put his name in mud. So now he's taken away his kingdom from any collaboration with this consortium, so it only leaves 2 parties. Sheikh Jassim's not come forward, so I don't think there's something happening in Qatar. Now, there's a lot of rumours coming out that the UAE are looking at King Eric. He was a king, so I'm going to refer to him as King Eric. The seagulls and the trawler. The people who are old enough, they'll remember where that came from, and the young ones, just have a look at YouTube. Just that historic moment. Well, it's historic to United fans, to no one else. We all remember it like it was yesterday. So please, for the younger viewers, please look at YouTube. Look up this Eric Cantona, the Seagulls and the Trawler statement, and when he made it. We made it back in 1995, 96. And then what went on before it and after it, because I'm sure you'll enjoy the watch. Now, he's been linked with the consortium. Not a lot's been said by King Eric himself. He was at a big reveal the other day there, and he didn't say anything there. And it was in the Middle East. So maybe they're trying to rope him into it. I mean, it would be great if David Beckham was linked into it, but I don't think it can be him just because he's linked with Inter Miami as well as the Salford thing, and I don't think he can take on Man United, his Inter Miami, as well as Salford. Now, if you want, even in an ambassador, it's just too much. It's just too much for him to take, because David Beckham does a lot of other things. So I do think Eric has to be the favourite for this ambassador. Maybe Rio Ferdinand, because he's out there quite a lot at the moment. I think he's living out in Dubai or Abu Dhabi at the moment as well. So he could be, and I don't mind Rio. Now, I know he made, when he was at the train station last year, when he was saying the Qataris are coming, it's been confirmed and all what they're not. To be fair, rumour had it that was happening. It was just the fact that the Sheikh didn't materialise with the money before everything changed. And the Ineos got in, they changed the structure because ultimately the Glazers, I genuinely didn't believe the Glazers wanted to sell. But we'll never know now because there was only one party in to buy the whole club, and that whole club was Sheikh Jassim. But then Ineos came forward, put their proposal for whatever percentage they got, and it just changed the dynamics. And we are worse off today because of that. Now, there's been a lot of Chinese whispers over the last couple of weeks in that this was the ownership's plan, because had they brought in that we were going to move from Old Trafford to a new stadium, although it was still in Old Trafford, we're going to knock this one down, that wouldn't have gone down well with the masses of the millions and millions of United fans. To be fair, even now, the circus tent that they want to bring up is going to cost us $2 billion. I don't want it. Why would I want that? If the likes of Real Madrid and Liverpool and Barcelona are redoing their club in the current stadium, there's a reason behind it. So why are we getting rid of our history, our legacy, everything that's associated with Man United, just to please American owners? I'm sorry. We want a 100,000 seater stadium, make it in the one we've got. May cost a little bit more, so be it. This new stadium will never ever have the same memories that this one's got. Not only that, the atmosphere, just everything that's tied in with Old Trafford. It can't be replaced. Liverpool rebuilt Anfield. They didn't even contemplate moving. It was probably, they could have done, but it's not even on the horizon. But only at Man United they would contemplate such a thing. Arsenal moved from Highbury. And I'm not having a go at Arsenal fans, and they're not a small club. They're a big club, but they're not Man United. They're just not Man United. Man United's different to any... There's only one club out there that I could probably have on a similar level to Man United, and that's even through the current turmoil we're in. I think the only club out there for me, and I would like the community out there to put me right if I'm wrong, I think the only other club that gets this kind of attention is Real Madrid. Maybe Barcelona, but definitely Real Madrid. In same as us, like Liverpool have lost 4 in a row. No one's interested in their record. They want to know what Man United are doing. They want to know that all the stories are 2 in a row. It's all about Man United. It's all about if it's not the 2 in a row, it's the manager. The manager's in dire straits. Could he lose his job? It's always news. Man United are always news. And only Man United fans can understand this, and no other fan will get this because they always think their club's the biggest and the best, and they're not. Tottenham Hotspur made a beautiful stadium. But and it's right next to White Hart. They've knocked down White Hart Lane and remade White Hart Lane, but it didn't make any difference to them. And I'm sorry, and if I'm being disrespectful to the Spuds fans, I'm sorry. As Sir Alex Ferguson once said, it's only Spurs, boys. It's Tottenham Hotspur. Do you know, and it sounds crazy because if you're putting them, you're like, Tottenham Hotspur, Man United. There's no comparison. Just no comparison. And then everything else, it's just, we can't even talk about, so we'll just move on from there. But I am worried, since that Levy's left, they could have someone rich pumping money into them and they could be the next big thing. And that's all it takes. It just takes one rich owner to come in and just loosen their purse strings and off it goes. Now, they can do what they want. It's all about Man United. I want to get excited. I really want to get excited. But because this is such a slow burner, and Turkey Al Sheikh's did no other posts since these 2 that he put out, it's been about 2-3 weeks now. Now I'm thinking, was it International Week? And that's why the news came around then. Because since then it's just gone really, really quiet. And there's little snippets from, this morning it was Guardian, the other day it was Laurie Whitwell from The Athletic. But nothing has been concrete. Now I'm thinking, I'm hoping, and I'm not the only one, I'm hoping me and along with the millions and millions of Man United fans, we're hoping that there is a consortium brewing, because this is an easy fix. All these problems that Man United are having, it's all to do with the Glazers and the new structure with Ineos. Had Ineos not come forward, it would have been a sale, whole club, they would have been out. The Glazers would have been out. There would have been no Ineos. It would have been one ownership. They would have redone Old Trafford. I can guarantee it, because what was the point buying a stadium and knocking it down? They just wouldn't have done it. And because they wanted all the fans on side, on board, they were going to make everything that was going to please the fans. There was no job cuts on the horizon. Not when it just wasn't happening. Now, the Qataris weren't popular with some people. They were with some others. I was definitely on board. Absolutely. Now, I was getting all excited by it. I mean, I was championing about it everywhere, saying to everyone they're coming in. God, I was checking the company's house and crazy. When is it signed? When is it signed? I still remember it like yesterday. But that was just a dream, pipe dream. Now, I don't want this new takeover to be a pipe dream, so I don't want to get carried away. I'm hoping there's some truth in it. Now, I know there's a structure thing when there's tag-along rights or drag-along rights that have now expired. Now, the Glazers' best interest is to sell it now, because the new clause kicks in February 2027. I'm not too sure when, what date in February, but it's in some point in 2027 in February. Then the Glazers have rights, and the share price is ultimately going to drop. So it's in the best interest for the Glazers to sell and sell now. Now, I don't think Sir Jim wants out. I think he wants to be part of the history, which if he can and he can't. But then again, I've just contradicted myself, because there's no way an Arab's going to come in and let someone else have 30%. They don't work. The Arabs don't work like that. They want to be in control, because they don't want anyone to be telling them, look, you can't do this, you can't do that, because it's going to be their way or the highway. Now, if they're putting things right and making things better, then fair dues. I mean, look what Todd Bowley's done at Chelsea. He's come in, spent his way through trouble, and just carried on spending. I wish Todd Bowley came in at United and gave us the same opportunity, and Sir Jim and Ineos went to Chelsea. I mean, this is the other thing. Sir Jim's a lifelong Manchester United fan. He's going to put the red back into Manchester. The only red he's put back in is the debt, because that's the only red he's put in. I mean, we can't buy anyone. We let off 250 staff, or is that, or what I can remember, it's probably higher. Do you know, and that's the red into Manchester. Your red into Manchester is cutting people's livelihood. You made people redundant. The Qataris wouldn't have done that. The UAE won't do this. Fingers crossed. I just hope it's true. And I hope it is King Eric, because I don't know what capacity he'll be in. He'll be making sure that he gets Man United back to the top of the tree, where he wants to see them, like along with the millions and millions of the United fans. And it's not just the United fans. A lot of the neutrals like Man United, due to the history, the legacy, Sir Mark Busby, the Busby Babes, Sir Alex Ferguson. Like, Man United were a big club. How big, I don't know. Like I said, I've only supported Man United since 1986. And at that point, living in Scotland, you didn't really get to see how big they were, because it was all about Celtic, Rangers. Well, I don't want to bring them into it, but that's all the hype in Scotland. It was Hearts, Celtic, Rangers. That was it. And Man United were never in anything. I mean, everyone, when I was growing up, you're either an Everton fan or a Liverpool fan, and that was it. I mean, at school, every single person was either Ian Rush, Kenny Dalglish, Graham Souness, or Graham Sharp. That was it. There was no one else. So, to me, Man United were just, I only heard of them really when I started following them when Alex Ferguson came in '86, and then he grew the club and he made it bigger, and due to the success he brought in the football, the brand of football he played, made it popular, made them big, sustained it, and then everything else that came with it. Now, what made United different to everyone else, and what was Alex Ferguson's success? When Arsene Wenger came, he'd taken the challenge. he changed his philosophy, changed his football to combat Arsenal. Otherwise, Arsenal would have been out of sight. But Alex Ferguson built a team to take them under his wing and be the boss. Then Jose Mourinho came, he brought his powerful brand of football, and then he did the same again. And Sir Alex continuously built his team and moved on and changed with the times. The only time he didn't do it was towards the end of his tenure, when he had no money. Yeah, he bought Robin van Persie in his final season, but the issues were long before. Man United had issues before that. Now, the proof to that was when we sold Ronaldo to Real Madrid for 80 million. And Fergie was right when he said that's cheap at 80 million, because 80 million should be one leg. He was absolutely spot on. The heights that Ronaldo hit when he went to Real Madrid proved that. But if you look at the players that he bought, Obertan, he's in Oblivion right now. No one knows where he is. Michael Owen's career was finished. His career was finished back then. Valencia. I'm sorry, you've sold the best player in the world and you replaced him with Valencia. No disrespect to Valencia. Valencia was an okay player, but he's not Ronaldo. I mean, he should have replaced Ronaldo with Gareth Bale. Someone who genuinely, not like for like, but who offered the closest thing to Ronaldo, or an Eden Hazard. We got Valencia, who, no disrespect, he was at Wigan, and he's coming to replace Ronaldo. And the other two players that went round it, that just shows the levels of trouble that United were in at that time, because there is no way Sir Alex would have settled for that. And the dross that he used to say to us by telling us there's no value in the market. No value in the market when David Silva's going to Man City for like 20 million. That's an absolute bargain. Bargain. And we're getting told that there's no value in the market. Now, I've been watching some snippets over the last few days of Samir Nasri. He had agreed with Paddy and Sir Alex that he was going to come and join United. But because City gave him some more money, he went there. Yeah, okay, that he sold us out. I get that. Now, that can't happen. Money turns people's heads. That would never have happened. Never have happened if Alex Ferguson said, look, I'll give you whatever you want, I'll give it you. Yeah. Right, they're giving you 50, we'll give you 25. Shut up, sign, get it over and done with. That would have been, but it was always money. Now, in the last few years, Fergie's biggest buy was Robin van Persie, and that was it. And I honestly believe, now this is my own personal opinion, now I know, God rest Kathy's soul, Kathy wanted him to retire, but she wanted him to retire back in 2000 and 2001. Sorry, 2001, 2002. And he changed his mind because it wasn't right. And I do believe had Fergie knew he had the funds that the rest of the managers have thrown away, they've literally burnt the money. Fergie wouldn't have resigned. I'm just not. He would have relished the challenge of City. He would have, if he knew he had the money to take on City, I honestly believe he would never have walked away from the United job. He built this dynasty, and he's watched it crumble in front of his eyes. I mean, not just me, all of us, all United fans watch game after game in the TV. They always pan on Fergie because, now, if Fergie's sitting in the crowds, are you trying to tell me he couldn't sit in the dugout? He wasn't taking the training anyway. Fergie wasn't taking the training, so he could have sat there and just been there. Fergie in the dugout, just that aura of the man. And when he used to give the referees that look, he walked away because he didn't have the money to take on the likes of the Cities. And since then, it's been free fall. Now, there's only one thing that can combat this: money. Man United makes so much money, it's incredible, always has done. But every year when you look at the operating loss and everyone goes on about EBITDA, we're not interested in that. The bottom line is, look at the balance sheet. We've got more than $1 billion in debt. It's not even United's debt. Man United was debt-free before this management structure came in and the ownership came in. Debt-free. They bought this club for £500 million in debt. It now stands over £1 million. It stands over £1 million. On top of that, they've paid more than £1 billion in interest. And they're meant to be good for business. Please, I hope this consortium, this is why I'm not getting carried away, because when you look at all the figures, what they've done to this club, they've bled it dry. They really have. I do believe they will be gone soon. How soon, I do not know. And I wish I did know. But just like everyone else does. We're all waiting for this dream to come true. We're all waiting for them lot to leave, and never to be seen again in and around Old Trafford. I don't want to see that ponytail anywhere, never mind Old Trafford. So please, let's all pray that this is true. We've got a rich investor or a consortium coming in, going to get rid of these gnomes, the Ineos. We're going to have a reset. Not the current regime, the reset is at the manager. Every time things go wrong, sack the manager. It's not the manager's fault we've got these players. Yeah, okay, Dorgu is the manager's fault. That's just bad management, poor judgment of a player. Absolutely, there was no need to go and splash out £30 million on a player who hadn't proved himself in Italy. And now he's come here. He was horrendous yesterday, horrendous. I mean, Gagpo's goal, he went and blocked the shot, the ball went through his legs. And he slid in. It was just, it wasn't even schoolboy defending, because schoolboy, you're not taught to do that at schoolboy level. So that's not schoolboy defending, that's just shocking. That is the manager's fault. But other than that, it's not the manager's fault. So let's hit the reset. I'm going to keep doing these pro shows. I want the Glazers out. I want all the I want every single fan group out there. We need to come together. We need to make a noise now. We can't sit back, because there's little murmurs and snippets. Every time something happens, there was going to be just a few weeks back, I can't remember which home game it was, there was going to be a protest. We got linked to Blaber, the protest got cancelled. We were never getting Blaber. That was just to quell the protest. And now there's no talk of protest. Please, let's come together. Let's get these protests going. Let's move as a movement and get them out once and for all. Let's make a noise. Let's stand and be counted. Let them know that they've done this for 20 years too long. It's going to be the 20-year anniversary of this club. 20 years of ruin, well, give or take, because they were here since 2005, and they got away with it because we had a young Rooney, we had a young Ronaldo, and they carried the team, so we didn't need to buy a lot of players. But after that, they have strangled this club. Now it's time for them to say goodbye, and we need to make sure they say goodbye. So let's get on this. So if you like this video, please give me a share. And like, this is all my second video, and I'm new to this. I'm enjoying it. Hopefully things get bigger and better as we go along on this journey. But the one thing's for sure, I myself been on this journey. I've stood there from 2005 wanting the Glazers out, and the green and gold march when Beckham came in, he was at AC Milan when he held the flag. Been there. Now let's not stop. Let's build a movement. Let's get them out of here once and for all. And let's hope, if it's not the consortium, Sheikh Jassim comes back out, whichever castle he's hiding in, to come out, put the money in, and take this club over. If you like this video, give me a follow, give me a share, give me a like. Peace out. See you soon.